Even if you're not keen on the UFO and alien frenzy, you can't escape it. UFO sightings are popping up globally every other week. New York City alone has witnessed 2 dramatic UAP encounters recently, with numerous sightings over the years. And the intrigue doesn't stop there. America has been a hotspot for UFO activity, with reports like the astonishing 10-foot alien spotted outside a Miami mall in early January 2024. This was just the beginning of a nationwide wave of UFO sightings. Ready to dive in? Let's explore 7 most shocking UFO encounters ever captured on camera across the US. Number 1. UFO reported over New York's LaGuardia Airport. This is the latest sighting in the list. This shocking sighting took place just recently in March 2024. Michelle Reyes was on a commercial flight above New York's LaGuardia Airport on March 25. She was casually recording a video of New York's skyline, like most travelers do as their plane gets ready to land, when suddenly, she spotted something very unusual. She saw a mysterious, eerie-looking black disc-like object zooming past her plane from right to left. The dark object was traveling at roughly 2,500 feet above ground level and was relatively close to the plane. The motion was really quick, but if we pause the footage, you can clearly see that this UAP was neither a drone nor any manned aircraft that we know of. Now let's see the footage in real time. Even if we consider the fact that the plane and the UFO are moving in opposite directions, it still seemed like the UFO was moving at tremendous speeds, like a fighter jet. No man-made drone yet can achieve Mach speed while flying. After recording the footage, Michelle Reyes immediately emailed the Federal Aviation Administration to let them know what she saw. But even the FAA are still clueless as to what the mysterious black disc was. And this is also not the first time that a UFO was seen flying near an airport. Number 2. UFO seen in Oklahoma night sky. This is another sighting that took place just recently in 2024. On the 4th of March, an Oklahoma resident was enjoying a quiet evening with his kids, right outside his residence, when suddenly they spotted something abnormal above them. They saw an unusually bright object in the sky giving off luminous white light. Initially he thought it was a shooting star, but it was moving extremely slow to be one. Then suddenly, the UFO blasted a white plume of air resembling a shockwave, which further perplexed the onlookers. Some actually think that this was just a rocket launch that is getting blown out of proportion. Surprisingly, on that same day, SpaceX did have a launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida, but that launch took place at a totally different time and location compared to the UFO sighting. So was this just aliens keeping track of all the space launches that we do? Recently Elon Musk even said, "I don't see any evidence of aliens," as Starlink satellites have never dodged UFOs. Or maybe these UFOs are just too quick to detect. We will further see 2 other UFO sightings that shockingly got very close to the US military. Number 3. 3 UFOs seen in Texas. This sighting took place on a warm night in September 2018 in Tomball, just north of Houston. A group of friends had gone out to dinner that night and had just returned to their apartment complex, when suddenly they noticed something disturbing in the night sky. Out of nowhere, 2 stationary bright lights appeared in the sky. And then suddenly, the third one made itself visible, like it was hiding its presence from everyone. Then the 2 lights moved away from the third one, circling around in formation but eventually coming back to a triangle formation. Then suddenly, after some time, the UFOs just disappeared and again reappeared. One of the eyewitnesses was an ex-military from the United States Air Force, and he was convinced that what he saw that night was not from this world. He made it very clear that they were definitely not flares nor any aircraft he knows of. These UAPs bear a striking resemblance to the triangle-shaped UFO, recorded from a doorbell camera in Sunrise, Florida in 2023. And this was also not the only time a UFO was spotted in Texas. In April 2022, in a town called Kyle, a strange UFO was captured on camera emanating an orange glow, which has never been seen in other UFO sightings. And as always, local officials had no explanation for the orange UFO. But why are so many sightings happening in and around Texas? Do aliens have a secret base in Texas that we don't know of? Talking about military bases, some UFOs came surprisingly close to U.S. Navy warships. Let's continue watching to find out more. Number 4. Spherical UFOs seen by U.S. Navy off the coast of San Diego. This was the first time ever that UFOs were spotted so close to a U.S. Navy destroyer. This video was again released by filmmaker and ufologist Jeremy Corbell. This hostile confrontation took place off the coast of San Diego in July 2019. These UAPs swarmed around multiple Navy warships for hours, thus showing blatant lack of fear for the U.S. Army. Jeremy Corbell stated that similar events were reported by 8 other Navy ships in the same area over 3 days. One of those ships, the USS Omaha, encountered as many as 14 of the UFOs all at the same time. For 2 long hours on the night of July 15, 2019, the crew of the Omaha detected on multiple sensor systems unknown objects that surrounded the ship. One of the objects, a self-illuminated sphere at least 6 feet in diameter, flew alongside the Omaha for an extended period, and was observed through a thermal sensor. Then later it just disappeared into the ocean. The Army personnel who witnessed the event believe it was a coordinated interaction. Was this a show of strength by the aliens, or just routine reconnaissance missions to keep track of the activity of the most powerful military in the world? If UFOs and aliens are making themselves visible to armies around the world, does that mean that they are preparing for a global invasion? Or are they just checking our military tech to see if we pose any threat to them? Number 5. UFOs spotted in Sunrise, Florida. This footage was recorded at night from a doorbell camera in Sunrise, Florida in 2023. In this video, 3 UFOs can be seen to move in the formation of an equilateral triangle. Such a formation would be very difficult to maintain when moving at high speeds by any of the current known aircrafts. The UFOs then eventually disperse in different directions. An eyewitness recorded another footage of the same event from another part of Florida, adding credibility to the sighting. This footage gives us a better understanding of how far apart the 3 UFOs actually are from each other. When seeing the first footage, initially it looks like a singular ship with 3 lights shining at its 3 edges. But later you can clearly see that the 3 UFOs start acting independently, and move in opposite directions in precision synchronized fashion. Such synchronized movement has been seen at drone air shows. But it would have to be a very large drone, almost the size of an airplane, to shine so brightly in the night sky from such a high altitude. People in Florida are still clueless about what they witnessed that fateful night. But wait till you see the UFO that almost scared the Chilean military personnel. Number 6. UFO seen by U.S. fighter pilot over the East Coast. The Pentagon has disclosed to lawmakers that it had cataloged 400 reports of UAPs. Out of these, 11 were near misses with aircrafts. U.S. military personnel have also come across UFOs on multiple occasions, and some of these encounters have even been captured on camera. Many of these footages have been declassified and released for public viewing. One such eerie footage was captured in 2021. A Navy pilot was flying his F-18 fighter jet off the East Coast, when suddenly he noticed something strange in his airspace and reported it to the command center. The pilot then decided to remove his cell phone to record what he was seeing as proof, and this was the footage he captured. The UAP was so quick that we have to actually pause the video just to get a glimpse of it. Also, the UFO was moving at Mach speeds without any visible means of propulsion. When you look at the still image more closely, it clearly looks like a metallic sphere which very much resembles the other metallic spheres that have been seen in the Middle East and Colombia. Even during the congressional hearing held in May 2022, Naval Intelligence couldn't give a concrete answer as to what that UAP was.
Describe what we're looking at. What are we observing?
It's reflective in this video, somewhat reflective, and it quickly passes by the cockpit of the aircraft.
The big question that still remains unanswered is why do so many UAP sightings happen near military aircrafts and bases? Are the aliens keeping a close watch on our military technology? Or are they preparing for something more sinister like a full-scale invasion? Number 7. UAP spotted by Navy pilot in California. U.S. Navy pilots often fly over states for routine naval operations. But back in 2004, during one such routine aerial surveillance operation, a Navy pilot captured something very unusual on his radar. This incident took place off the coast of California. At first the pilot thought there was some error with his radar. But after some time, he realized that it was indeed an aircraft hovering right in front of him. It was an oval-shaped object that kept hovering in its position for quite some time. Even the pilot who recorded the footage said that this craft was not behaving according to the normal laws of physics. After noticing this weird craft, the pilot reported it to the Department of Defense. For nearly 16 years, the Pentagon kept this video classified, but in April 2020, the Department of Defense released this video to the public. 2 other classified videos were also made available to the public in 2020. The last UAP sighting even made the U.S. military personnel jump out of his seat. Are UFOs appearing near military bases a sign of an impending global invasion, or are they simply assessing our military tech to gauge any potential threat? The answer could reveal whether we're on the brink of an extraordinary encounter. Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for the latest revelations in space exploration. Hit the bell icon to stay updated, and let's continue to explore together.